Three great friends in this thing.
Give me some thoughts on this. What do you like? What do you don't like? Let's start with. All right, Nick.
Like what I liked about it, it was really good that they put up a diagram.
Good. They put a table up and they also labeled it. Is that not a good?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What's something you don't like, Nick?
They got the measurements wrong.
Why? Where specifically do you disagree?
I disagree with the middle and the bottom because instead of adding 2.5, they added 1.
Oh, so they're going 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You guys see that pattern?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I can see what they're doing. So, what should the 7 be then? If I had to redo that, Nick, what would you put there?
10.
Did you give him that answer? 10. 10.
No, I didn't give him the answer.
Oh, wait,
Okay.
I understand.
So let's look. Does that make sense? If you're going from 2 to 4, you're going times by 2. If you're going 5 to 10, you're going times by 2. That's one way to think about it. How did you think about it, Rebecca?
So I did 5 divided by 2. That equals 2.5. So it's 2.5 feet for every inch.
Okay, so Rebecca's saying to go from inches to feet, it's a skill factor of 2.5, 2.5. So if you go times 2.5, you would get 5. If you did 3 times 2.5, that would be 7.5. So that means this is going to be 7.5, and that's our answer. Could you also use a proportion over here, Alice? Sorry. Yeah. What are you thinking? All right. What's your way of thinking about it?
So, if you know that you need to find 3, and you know that 2 is 5, and 4 is 10, so I don't know how they got 7 there.
They counted. They went 5, 6, 7.
Okay. So, then you know that you have to get somewhere halfway in between 2 and 4, between 5 and 10, and half. So that leaves you 5, and half of 5 is 2.5. So then you just add 2.5 to 5.
Good. He's saying, looking at it like this, your answer has to be between 5 and 10, because if this, let's pretend we don't know that's a 6. So we say, it can't be this one, it can't be this one. And why is it 7.5 and not 6 again?
Because you want to add 2.5 because that's half of 5, and if 5 is equal to 2 inches, then if you divide that, then it'll be 2.5 is equal to 1.
Okay, so you're going up. Each one is increasing. So he's saying each one is going up 2.5. This is going up by 2.5. Okay, good. One more thing I'll show you on this one is proportion. So if you were trying to figure out what this is, you could say inches to feet. Inches over feet. 2 is to 5 as 3 is to x. We don't know what x is. You multiply by what you know and divide by the outside. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. I taught this to you guys last year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Those of you that are in 6th grade, have you learned these
Yes.
proportions?
We did this.
I don't think so.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I was hoping maybe, so maybe in my mind, I'll make sure that that's something emphasized in summer work to make sure everybody knows how to do that. This essentially is, this is 7th grade. That idea of proportions, like that's like the biggest thing. You can solve almost any problem in 7th grade with proportions. Unit rate, skill drawings. You could do word
There's
problems,
even a focus area.
percents. I mean, there was a unit just on
I think, isn't proportional relationships?
something we get to. Yeah, so we'll spend time on it. All right, let's look at this one.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
What do you do?
what skill factor is applied? Can you guys see this? Or want me? Here, I'll make it bigger. This is a 1, 1. This is 3. This is 2. This is 3, 3, 9, 6. All right. What skill factor is applied to shape B? So shape B to get to shape A. This student looks like they did. So they did 2 times 3 equals 6.
But they wrote
So they
wrong.
said, oh, I times by 3 to get to 6, so the answer is 3, and the computer said, nope, that's wrong.
So like,
So if the problem was what skill factor is applied to shape A to make shape B,
That would be free.
then it would be 3, but they had it flip-flopped. When I asked students, I was like, how do you go from 9 to 3? They always say divide by 3, right?
but it's multiplied.
But a skill factor has to be the number that
Times
multiplies.
5, yeah.
So let's test it. Is 12 divided by 3 equal 4?
Yeah.
Is 12, now if I want to multiply, is 1/3 of 12 4?
Yeah.
So you can multiply by a fraction, like 1/3 would mean the same thing as dividing by 3. Good. Is this anybody in here? Oh,
I thought that was me for a minute.
that was Mr. Harper.
That's not Mr. Harper.
Oh, Harper.
It was a Hannah.
Could have been
I know who that
a
is.
last name.
No, I know who it is.
Hey.
Alright. Alright, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you a few pictures, and on your whiteboards, you're going to write equations based off those pictures. Do you want to do the first one together, or am I kind of curious to see what you end up coming up with looking at this?
I have no
First one
idea.
together.
First one together. This is called a tape diagram. What do you think? So first of all, we're trying to do an equation. What's an equation have?
An equal
An
sign.
equal sign. So we have to have something equals to something. Does anybody have an idea of what this whole thing is going to equal? Okay, from Nick, thank you for raising your hand. 19. The whole thing's going to equal 19. Well, we're halfway there. It equals 19. How do you think we can write the left side looking at that? What equals 19? Well, what does this look like? Rebecca?
Never mind, I forgot.
Let's just do two different answers that are both right. Is that a 5? All right, 5 is connected to x. In a way, this is representing adding. So 5 plus x plus x.
Why would it be 5 plus x plus y?
It's not a y. These are both x's.
I
Because
know,
they
but
have to
like,
be-
why wouldn't it be?
Um,
They have to be.
Because y would represent another value of numbers,
Yes.
but the two x's are at the same value.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
they're
two
the same
x's
value.
have to be the same value.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I don't know.
All right, let's take a look. Are these x's something that we like to call like terms?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because you said they're
That's
going to be the
that's
same
why they
value.
have to be the same.
So what's another way I could write this that means the same thing, maybe a little simpler looking? Ben?
5 plus 2x.
5 plus 2x equals 19.
That would be a
That's right. That is a two-step equation. Why? What would this equal? Anybody do the math on it? Brandon?
X would be 7s.
Let's see. Is 7 plus 7, that's 14. Is 14 plus 5, 19?
No, that's 21.
No, that's right. That's good. It's going to be 5. Alright. Which one's better, the top one or the bottom one?
Bottom.
Bottom's more simple.
Alright, now that you see that one, let's skip B, but actually let's not skip B. Pretty much it's just flipped, right? So what I'm going to do is show you that he's right by doing the work. Brandon, what would you do on both sides to solve this?
This?
Yeah.
Oh, call it minus by 5 on both sides.
Minus by 5 on both sides. You get 2x equals 14. Like, that makes sense, right? Because if we're thinking about it, if you took this 5 away, and you took 5 away from here, you'd be 14. You'd have 2 x's equal 14, and then you would split that up evenly, and you would get x equals 7. So you would be right. Alright. Try part C on your board. How would you rate that?
What?
That's a lot of damage.
What?
A lot of damage?
Yeah. It's a line, I think, or maybe.
Is that for a video game?
That's a commercial.
Yeah.
No, it's for a commercial. It's for
Flex
No. Mr. Chris, not all of them. He literally just destroys stuff.
I just wanna see the top
a
part.
lot of
He
damage.
thinks it's shameful.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
Mr.
it's-
when you
Because
said
this equation
Mr.
we're
Garcia,
able
we
to
just have
solve
to show
it.
you the equation.
It's funny, everybody that's talking about flex tape is the same people that don't even have one term written on their board.
I'm talking about it and I'm almost done.
Should at least be able to get one side of the equation. What does that all equal? That should be the easiest part. That's good. See if you could write it a better way.
Wait, is it just like,
I did write it in a better way, Mr.
That's good.
Garcia.
If you want to solve it, you can solve it.
alright.
I just wanted to see the equation. You guys can solve that. I just want to see the equation.
Oh, it's nice.
Oh, then you simplify it and now you're solving. Alright, just keep finishing it. You're good.
I was right.
Um,
I had 3 over 5. Shoot, we're gonna solve it.
double check that. And is it x4 or 4x? Which one's the better way? And is it 4 or is it more?
How do you find the number that you multiply in the equation?
However many there are of them, that's something that's multiplied by. So that's right. I'm not sure about the answer. I really don't know.
Well, wait,
Oh,
we
yeah,
have to,
Alright, I was just checking to see if you could set it up.
we have to do the
Wait,
answer.
Nick, what did you get?
Alright, I think that's right.
Wait,
That's good. Try to solve it now.
I did all.
What do you
That's like
Mr. Garcia.
it's like Miss Chambers running a marathon and doing all that work and getting to the finish line
And
and
tripping.
seeing it and going, I'm good. And then walking off the track before she finished.
Oh, she didn't do that. She's correctly trying to think nice job with one.
She did a great job. She finished in like 4 hours or something. That's
4
great.
hours 30.
You don't know, but they had like water in there.
Did you hear what Nick Wilson
Got
told
it.
you after that?
No,
What?
say it.
Good. Alright, somebody tell me, what is this one? Raise your hand and tell me what is it written. Ian, what'd you get? It might not be. I don't want the answer. I just want this as an equation.
There we go.
2 plus x equals 19. Alright. I like a lot of what Ian has. He has 2 plus x equals to 19. But Ian, how many x's are there? So let's change that from 1x, let's change it to 5x. Does that make sense? And now you're good. Alright, some of you guys solved this. What'd you do first when you solved it? Allie?
I took 19 and subtracted 2 from it.
Alright, subtract 2 from both sides. You get 5x equals 17. And then you divide by 5, divide by 5. That goes into it 3 and 2 left over at 5. Or I saw some of you had 3.4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I just did the division. Yeah, I just did 19 minus 2.
Try this one.
Oh, come on.
So we gotta figure out x.
No, I'm just asking you to write an equation. Oh, come on.
It's like a no.
Oh, wait, no.
There's more than one way to write this. That's right.
We figured it out.
Ooh, that's right too. Keep that. That's a nice one. That's right. That's right. If I say you're right, why don't you try solving it?
Right.
That's good.
Why didn't you point your mouth? Mr. Garcia, why do you put the papers right next to the open window?
Yeah, that was
Is it just me to add?
What? 4.5.
That's good.
You got it.
There's a point.
That's all. Alright, that's good.
You let me know.
Yeah, you did it.
That's good right there. That's good.
Yay.
Alright, Brandon up here. Brandon, what did you put for your equation?
2x plus 10 equals 19.
How did you get the 2x plus 10?
I just see there's 2 x's, put 2 x's, and then add 5 plus 5.
So he's looking at us as x plus 5 and another x plus 5. And in a way, it's like adding together. So he's like, oh, you get 2 x's, you get two 5s, and then you put together, you get 10. Adam, what was yours?
I had 2 then x plus 5 in parentheses.
Does that equal? Is that the same thing as the red one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's x plus 5, but there's 2 of them. And then if you distributed, would you still get what Brandon had? So they both right? Yeah. What did you end up getting when you solved this?
X equals 4.5.
Alright, let's see. 4.5 plus 5 is 9.5. So that one's 9.5 and this one's 9.5, and you add those together, that would be 19. Yes, the answer is 4.5. Alright, try writing an equation for just the last one of this type.
I split it in half, so I did.
Ow, you started a revolution. Most people are doing it your way now.
I'm not.
I didn't.
Is it x5 or 5x?
Dude, would you like my answer too?
But here's the, it's not one. That's fine. Good. Good. Alright, raise your hand if you need more time. Maya, what did you enter? Or what did you put down? 5x plus 10 equals 19. Is that right? That's good. After people realized that Adam's way worked, we have a lot of people that tried this. It said x plus 2, but now you have 5 of them. That also equals 19. Are those the same thing? Yes. Out of respect for the problem, let's finish it. We would get 5x plus 10 equals 19 minus 10 minus 10. You get 5x equals 9. Divide by 5, divide by 5.
You should get 1.
Did everybody write their answer as x equals 9 over 5? That's right. That's fine. What did you write it as? 1.4?
1.8.
1.8?
It's 1.8 because then when you reduce 9 fifths, it's 1 and 4 fifths, and then 1 and 4 fifths is 0.8.
I didn't even see that could be fantastic beast. Me too.
What's that?
Alright, looking at this picture, I want you to tell me, what do you wonder and what do you think? Give me something that must be true. Give me something that can't be true. What do you wonder? What do you think?
What?
I do not understand.
It's probably.
Alright, Alice, what do you think? What do you wonder?
Why are there a bunch of socks hanging around in a closet?
Yeah, why do you hang up
Well,
socks?
obviously this person hasn't invested in a drawer yet, and they are trying to make their matching socks together.
And I think what they're trying to do
Are
is
you,
trying
You don't like my closet, Alex?
I think they're trying to distribute
Oh, is that
weight
yours?
evenly.
That looks so Photoshop.
So that the one on the right is
Photoshop.
they're trying to find exactly where to put the clip so that it's not out of the name.
Okay, that's interesting. He's saying, do you guys agree that the placement of the clip may adjust how balanced it is? Yeah. But looking at it, it looks like these two are very much on the very edge. This looks like it's very much on the edge, and this one too. So, in a way, I don't know if you can move this sock to the right anymore to balance it. Let's go with other ideas. Colin, why do you think something must be in it?
Because it's weighing the other one down and then the pink ones that are even.
What does this symbolize if they're even, you think? It means they're going to be the same weight or they're equal. What symbol would go between these two? Huh? Do you read it like left or right? This would be greater than, yeah, greater than. Jackson, what do you think?
I think that because, the one sock, the blue sock to the right is not the same mass as the red ones, but the left blue one looks a little bigger and longer.
So maybe or maybe it could be wet or something, right? And who knows? If it's wet, is something heavier? Yeah. All right, Alex.
They only have 4 socks, and they're not like conserving space. They should put it this way.
I have a very big closet. It's like, do you know how they say a walk? Do you know how they say there's walk-in closets? I have a drive-in closet. I could park a Hummer in that one.
Do you have a linen closet?
Okay, this looks really badly photoshopped because one of the socks doesn't look anything like the other sock on the pink one.
Those
It's
are my socks.
Photoshop.
Why
It
don't
is
you
Photoshop. That is Photoshop. That is Photoshop. That is Photoshop.
It's not. It's just some socks hanging in a closet.
Yes, because one
Alright.
looks like this and the other one's like that.
Let's relate that idea to this. So now, is this hanger represent the right side hanger or the left side hanger? Ben?
Right.
I feel like it would represent the left side.
Yeah,
Or, yeah.
because it's even. And what do you think even means? Even means it's going to be equal. Alright, so these are going to be called hanger problems. And I want us to similarly try to write an equation for this. Do you want to start the first one together?
Yeah.
Alright, so somebody tell me how you would summarize the left side of this hanger. What would you put on the left side? Yeah.
So my friends, like, they said that the checkpoint thing was doing on like ESPN. So I was like, okay, I'm just like, I'll look at it. They get text. Yeah, my friends got text about it. So that, like, I added it.
Oh,
was
and it's like a
that,
math project
Wait,
due
but like,
9, and it's like we don't have any work on it yet. That's also what happens for science about the project.
So what happens is when I assign, when I move on to the next unit, it makes me set a tentative date, and I don't really know when that due date is, but it makes me click on it. So we've been doing equations, expressions, and stuff like that, inequalities for a while, but I haven't had any checkpoints. But you guys do have notes on it. You probably have almost enough to take it. You probably have to do 2-step equations with inequalities still. But yes, there is a checkpoint now with it. It is not due yet because I haven't assigned it. I don't know why it would say it's due. I don't.
Oh, yeah, your parents get.
It's,
My parents are gonna yell at the school.
Yep, and my, like, so
there's no point in getting angry. It's something that
I was like, okay, I'll just.
it's just how it is. They're trying to make them understand what's coming up, but at the same time, I assign things one at a time, so maybe it's different. I don't know.
I was just correct.
Can we get back to this? I'm sorry for the text message. It wasn't me that sent it.
I was gonna do it. I wanted to. It's like just this, and I just gonna do it.
Somebody else. Tell me what the left side would be. Karina, yes. Huh? Seven. Good. Allison, what's the right side? 3W plus 1. Alright, that is good. go up and try to explain what that would be with no math at all? Just like go up with a marker and try to just explain to people how you would do this? Alright, Ben. Like draw in the picture if you can. What would you do if you were trying to explain how to do this?
Well, so first
Question.
I think this is like, I don't know, like, it's very hard to explain. It's gonna be like really weird, but I feel like it's sort of like when you know, like those like Chinese number things, like those, like the things that they have on the wall where they like put the certain beads down. I feel like
Yeah.
it would be like that.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah, keep going. I know what he's talking about. He's talking about the decorations.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know how like you can move the beads? I feel like they're.
Oh no, that's a math.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it. So like, I feel like this would be like to like the side, and then there's like on the other side would be like this. I don't know. It's really weird.
Oh yeah, I get it.
So how's that solve it?
I don't know. I have no
I think
idea.
I know how to solve it.
Idea.
Alright, Nick, what's your idea? How do you think like a third? What if I give this to like a third or fourth grader and said, hey, how much does a W equal? How would they
Oh,
solve
the
it?
toys. They're like toys and stuff. They're like,
You can flip them so do that.
These two are equal. So whatever W it is, it will have to be enough to make 3 plus 1 equal 7.
Yep.
So if we minus x, minus 7 by 4.
So here's the thing. Well, when we do equations, like we want to make sure what we do on one side we'll do on the other. So if we were to subtract 4 on this side, is that necessarily evenly getting rid of the 1, or is it getting rid of more than 1? Okay, so what correction do you think we can make? What do you want to subtract on this side?
1
Alright.
times
You want to keep going? Or? You guys see how doing stuff on both sides kind of caught that mistake? Good. Alright, minus 1, minus 1.
I still like my
Alright, good. So you subtract.
Hello.
Oh. I'll be back. Yeah, this is a two-step equation. Let's see what happens.
This is because they're funny.
Ben, I hear that you know it's still counting every time you say one for the rest of the class. Why not?
Alright, minus 1, minus 1. You had 6
Like the last
equals 3x.
I like that.
Alright, finish it.
Mr. Garcia.
5 by 3. So 3x divided by 3 will equal x. X equals 6 divided by 3 will equal 2.
Good. Alright, so the answer is going to be 2. Just some housekeeping stuff. When he divides by 3, is 3 divided by 6 the same thing as 6 divided by 3? So when we show division, I would recommend showing it as a fraction. You want to divide by 3 on both sides, and if we were to do it on this side, it would 1 out. It's gonna support your work a little bit better, because it looks like his answers should have been 1/2 if it was 3 divided by 6. Now, what I was trying to see if anybody would think of is that I was hoping somebody would come out and go, well, if I was to cut this one off and cut this one off, then they'd still be balanced. And then I would look at it and go, okay, well, if I have 3 over here and 6 over here, that means I can group 2 of them. I can group 2 of them.
Oh,
I can group 2 of them.
so is this when you're like explaining it to like little or
Yeah, so that means 1 W.
I bet my little kids by like
Equals
9. I'm better than 5 year olds.
They're like upside down socks.
Exactly.
The first one's a shoe. Yeah.
The other ones are just socks. Those socks are Photoshop.
Alright, on your boards, write down an equation for the middle one.
I did not think my answers through as I raised my hand.
Look at these oriental lamps.
I know.
They're not.
Alright, I'm just gonna go out full.
Mr. Garcia.
Dude, stop showing
Give me
I love it.
got really weird.
Somebody want to go up and write their equation up there?
I didn't do it.
Oh.
Alright,
Wait.
Karina.
What's the answer? No, what are you doing? How do you get this?
See, look, now, that should be 1,
What are you drawing?
1.
I'm just gonna watch Karina do it.
Yeah.
Write down. Alright, 3x plus 2 equals 3. Good. Somebody want to go up and visually explain how much 1x would equal then? Alright, Ben, redemption.
Yeah. Don't use that Jackie's bar bread.
Red pen redemption. Literally.
You're using an orange marker.
Oh, red
That's it.
red pen
What?
redemption.
So this would these two would cancel out.
Yeah, write on it. You can write on there.
They're different than x. So then you would cancel out 2 and it's still the same. And then
So now it's weird because now you're thinking, alright, we have 3 x's equals 1 whole. So how do you think about that?
so here, right? It's easier to write it. So like yeah, I got nothing.
It's alright. So let's think about it. If we had 3 equals 3, let's say this is what we had.
Oh, 3/1.
It would be 3 equals 3. That means each x would equal 1. But it's not
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So are we expecting every x to equal more than 1 or less than 1? Less than 1. In fact, it would equal 1/3. Now, what's the work look like? We would subtract by 2. Isn't that kind of what his x's show? Subtracting 2 on both sides? And then you're left with 1 equals 3x. Well, then if you were to divide, and then Nick, you see why dividing by 3 like this is kind of helping you? Because now your answer is 1/3. So it's a little bit better than with the division symbol. Alright, I think we have one last one. This is kind of what your checkpoints might be like. Write this one down. I'm gonna freeze it,
Do we have
and I'm gonna turn
SDL?
James's assessment on.
Do we have SDL today?
Why are the whites? Yeah, we have a oh, you can have an assessment?
No, you can have it next class.
Alex, I like
Oh, that's twice because you had to repeat it. Congrats, you did 26.
What? makes sense.
Got the answer.
How many variables are there?
Oh, it's Y? I thought it was X.
Good.
Mr. Garcia,
Good job, Ben. Good
this
job.
is supposed to be Y.
All right, looks like everybody had enough time to at least set up the equation. Somebody want to go up and set up the equation that hasn't been up there yet? Haven't been up there?
Is this
All right,
correct,
Ali, you
Mr.
can go.
Garcia? Mr. Garcia, is this correct?
Yeah, that's good. You're good at this stuff.
How
Make sure
am
you use an eraser. I don't want it to get scratched.
I good at this stuff?
Yeah, I saw your work on you did your power focus area.
Which one?
This one.
Wait, expressions, equations, and inequality.
Qualities?
Yeah, you did this
I
one.
only got an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, but your work was good.
Yay! Can you put me up on the wall?
Excellent. All right, so she set up 6 equals 2y plus 3. Is that correct? Yes. If we were to subtract 3 on both sides, you'd be left with 6 equals, no, I'm sorry, not 6. 3 equals 2y. And then you would divide by 2, divide by 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2. Y equals 3 over 2. Or 1.5. Good. Alright, get out your notebooks. And today's date is 11-7.
Oh, it's 11-7.
Ooh, 9/11 is not a bad word. It's a date. Oh my gosh, this. Look at this pencil I found. Mr. Garcia, what's the song called that we're
Yeah.
singing?
Spin. Where's Spin? Rick Astley. Rick Astley. The singer. The singer. Wait. Were you him for Halloween or something?
That was Nathan.
What's that song called? Oh. Alright, got it.
Thank you, Allison and Alex. We're going to start right away. Maya, Adam. Alright, so by the end of today, I'm expecting you to be able to identify like terms, and then I expect you to be able to combine like terms if you can identify them. So a term is a part of an expression, and they're separated by addition and subtraction symbols. So these are all examples of a term, like 2x squared, that's a term. Sometimes your term can be negative. Sometimes your term can just be like 3, like a plus 3. A like terms are when they have to have the same variable raised to the same power. If you have highlighters, this is the lesson that I want you to use highlighters on.
I lost
What?
my
When
I lost.
when you have this, hurry up, go.
I lost my highlighter.
You know what? Never mind. I got 2 of them.
Mine's at my house.
Here, this is all you need. 2 of them.
Mr. Garcia, I don't have it. My highlighter's broke.
I will not rest until every child has a sharpen all my pencils.
Do you guys think I'm putting phone in the hallway? I mean,
There's 1.
my highlighter broke.
Who did I give a highlighter to? Why don't you guys share these? Thank you, Ali, for being responsible and having.
I'm just a five.
Mine broke.
I have mine with me.
Share highlighters with your neighbors. You don't really need them yet, but you will need them eventually. All right.
I've never seen one of these.
So looking up here, tell me, what do you think a like term with 2x squared? Is there anything else up there that you're like, oh, I think I'm going to say that's a like term with it? Look at the definition. They have to have the same variable. Is negative 3y, could that be a like term? No, why?
Because
Different variable, it's x and y. Well, different variable, this one has no variable. Could 2x squared and 3 be a like term?
No.
No. What about this one? Negative 8x to the third.
No.
They're both x's, why not?
Constant power.
Because they have different powers. This one is to the third, this one's to the second. So which one is the answer then? Ben?
it would be 9 to 9 or 9x to the second power.
Yes, 9x to the second power.
I'm sorry. No one ever says no decimals.
Alright, somebody else. I'm looking at negative 3y, and I'm going to try to find if there's a like term that goes with negative 3y. Alex, do you see one that you would consider a like term with it? 4y. Yeah, they're both y. They're both y to what power? If you don't see a power above y, anybody know what power that is? First power, yeah. They're both y to the first power. If it was to the 0 power, that would equal 1. Anything to the 0 power equals 1. Alright, I think the next one is 5y to the third.
Oh, we having this? Oh,
You don't have 3 different colors, you don't have to, but
yeah.
Just putting different.
It's-
Yeah, we have three.
One of them is always one over
that's fine if that helps you. So now we're left with 5y cubed. Which one of these would be a like term? Finn, what do you think? What goes with the blue one? Last one. Negative y to the third. Alright, you guys have an idea of what like terms look like now? Alright, now let's
Give us a
practice.
minute.
Let's practice combining them.
Mr. Receiver, already yet? We're trying to have some.
Alright. You don't have to write this down. Combining like terms. When combining like terms, actually, write the first one. It's important to include the sign in front of each term. I recommend using highlighters. This is important. If you don't include the sign in front, mistakes are going to get made. You're going to end up with a positive when maybe it should be negative. I ate too much at lunch.
Why would you get- Why would you eat a 12-inch sandwich?
Oh, it was on sale.
Footlongs are delicious.
They
Why
have
would you
they
do-
have turkey on sale for $5. It's like
$5 or $6.
Well, you could save
No,
it.
you gotta get tuna.
No, you.
Yeah.
Tuna
You.
from Subway.
I
Yeah,
love
tuna
you.
is
My dad.
You're one of those.
I'm one of those.
My dad was my dad was working at Subway when he was like 16, and like a girl lost a Band-Aid in the tuna, and they couldn't let her.
Ellie ate it. I'm joking. A Band-Aid in the tuna? He threw it away, right? He threw it away, right?
No, it fell in, and they couldn't find it, so they served it to someone. On accident.
Can I highlight?
I'm hoping there's some half-truths to that. Alright, let's move on.
Mr. Garcia,
What?
why don't you just like cut it in half and eat like 6-inch today and 6-inch tomorrow?
Yeah.
Then you wouldn't have to pack lunch.
I like to go big or go home. It's all or nothing.
You're going home because you feel sick.
Like the one about beef.
Alright,
Are we
What?
fine?
alright, let's come back together. Write this down. Example 1. So, this is not an equation because it doesn't have an equal sign. This is an expression, and it's 4y squared plus 2x plus 8y squared.
We're ready to go.
Let's go. Who haven't I heard? I think I've heard from everybody today, really.
Not Adam.
Let's go with
Adam.
Adam. Adam, how many terms would you consider this? It's 3. You guys see that? It's 1. It's separated by a plus sign. 2 separated and 3. There's 3 terms. 1, 2, and 3. Adam, do you see any like terms that I could highlight? The first one. Now watch how I highlight the last one. Highlight the symbol in front of the term. Okay, now you treat it like 4y squared plus 8y squared is going to equal
2x.
12.
12.
Wait, what would happen with the square? Would it
It just stays squared.
oh.
Oh, so you don't like.
Yeah. And then you're going to have plus 2x. You don't want to forget. You want to bring it down. Can I combine these?
Writing these on.
No, because they're not like. So you went from 3 terms down to 2. This is as simplified as it can get. Huh?
If we'll have an equal sign, we can.
Where's your math on that?
Not because you have 2 different variables.
What's called expression, solve for both.
If you had 2 different equations, these would end up being lines that would meet somewhere, and that would be. But you can't just solve one. Don't worry, you're not doing any of this. Next one.
Mr. Garcia has 2 likes on every video.
No way, I got a shout out on the one. I got like 65 likes on it.
What?
Who liked it? Who liked
My sister-in-law said, talked about how I was able to go to the Browns game, and then people liked it. It was like 60 likes. That's a lot.
You should have done it on Facebook Live.
What, Colin? What?
You
No.
should have
You should have
vlogged it.
Facebook
I could put
Live.
it on here.
With all the pictures I sent, you should
I
make
could
it.
put
He
it on
was
here if it
standing
doesn't
next to Miles and I asked him if he talked.
No, it didn't even know. I don't even think he saw me.
You were just standing there.
What was I supposed to do?
Dance. I want to dance.
Mr. Garcia.
Ben? I don't want the answer. What I want is like terms.
Like terms. Oh.
Alright, let's go with Nathan. Nathan, what are 2 like terms you see? And positive 5x. You guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Is there any other like terms you see that can be combined?
No.
Alright, so now we have to combine these. What do you think it'll be when I do negative 3x plus 5x?
2x.
Yes.
Positive
So
2x.
positive 2x
Plus 7.
plus 7 plus 2x to the 3rd power. Now, in high school, in 7th grade, they're going to have all your terms be linear, and everything's going to be to the 1st power. But I want you to know that sometimes a like term, they're not considered like terms if they have different powers. So I'm actually making it a little more harder than it needs to be. But I think you guys got that point. Another thing is in high school, if you have different powers, they want you to put it in order. Which one is to the highest degree?
Wait, degree?
The highest power degree.
Oh,
Is it-
2x3.
2x3.
Yes. Because it's to the third power, that's to the greatest degree. And they want that one to go up front. So if you wanted to rewrite this properly, you would say 2x to the third plus 2x plus 7. These mean the same thing, but this is the proper way because you want to go from greatest degree to smallest. You do not need to know this in 7th grade, but I'm letting you know now. We good?
Yes.
How
What?
many more examples do we have?
Then, or James, if you're taking the assessment, you can't talk. Colin, turn around, and then Adam, sit at your regular table. He's taking the assessment. Obviously, there's some type of distraction going on. Try this one on your own. Raise your hand, and I'll come check it.
Where's the bathroom?
You don't even have the answer yet.
No, can I get the answer? Okay.
The Hillies might actually have you might know somebody that thinks their leaves ranked. It's like band or something. They said the person lives right by you.
That's not the right answer.
Huh?
They don't. I know that they don't live like next to their hand. Is that right? That's all I know. Oh. What do we do then?
Well, is this right? Then I put 3 in
Yeah, not combined. Hey, you guys stop it. The wheel's locked, so if the wheels aren't locked, it's not locked. No, it's right. I mean, is it A3 or 3A?
Wait, what? Oh, wait, let's take it here. Okay.
Alright. Ian, what are your like terms? All 3 A's. But wait, there's more. What else are like terms? Brandon? Shh. Yeah, what are other like terms?
Since there's 3 A's, it'll be 3 A's.
Alright. 3A, and then if I wanted to identify other like terms, do we agree that 5 and -3 can be combined? And when they are combined, it equals 2. It's a positive 2, so you want to say 3A plus 2. So you went from 5 terms down to 2 when you simplify. You guys picking up on that?
Oh, I put down 3 terms.
Where are we at? We're not going to do all of them. We're going to do maybe one more. actually gonna call one of you guys to go up and do it. Did you go up yet, Allie? Did you go up there?
No.
Alright, Allie, you can go up there. What?
Oh, I have gone.
Hey, you go up there? Highlight, it's fine. Alright, Ben's gonna go use the highlighter. It's next to the A in the middle. So you see that A?
Oh wait, 28.
I
don't know what to do.
You see the A at the top.
You see the A.
It's to the left of the A.
Oh, no, it's this thingy.
Oh no, warmer. On, yeah, that's it. Alright, and then hit a color. Whichever highlighter you want.
Don't pull a Hannah Myers and make it purple.
My God, Alex.
No, yeah, don't use the purple.
Reach the top of the board.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, let's look at it. I am colorblind. Is all of it the same color?
No, it's yellow and green. It's
Alright,
yellow and yellow.
so what's a like term with K squared?
So, since there's variable, you can highlight where on each side.
Alright. So when you combine those K's, what do you get? Good. You guys see, one of the mistakes people make is they don't realize that's a 1K squared. They think it's just like nothing. And then if you do negative K plus negative 2K, how much you end up with? Good, right down. You're right. Good. That's as easy as it gets. Good job, Ben. Here. Good job for being brave. I know you didn't want to do that.
Mr. Garcia, do I get candy? I wrote that Browns letter for you. I wrote the whole Browns letter for you and I didn't get anything.
I offered you tickets for my kid.
No, because I couldn't make it. I was in the soccer field. What should my siblings play?
Alright. We're gonna go to an activity called Ferrari Ride.
Hey!
You can sit with a partner. I'm gonna stop recording. Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Oh wait,